Alright YouTube, what's going on? Got another knife video. We're looking at another Wii knife. This is one I have it on a pass around along with the Ignition. This is the 717D, also called the Valiant. It is a stubby, chubby little guy, but it's nice. Definitely nice. So this one has a 3-inch blade of S35 VN steel. You've got a cutting edge of about 2.75. Your width in the pocket here is 1.25 inches, so it's pretty thick. Blade thickness is 0.16. The clip point blade in a flat ground with this nice stonewash finish. Your handle length is 4 inches with a width of, like I said, 1.375 here. And, oh, excuse me, I said the blade width earlier. Sorry, that was wrong. The blade width is 1.25 inches, so it's pretty wide. The handle is 1.375. And you're 0.64, so you're over the half-inch mark, so it's pretty chubby. And your weight is 5 ounces, so it's definitely a chubby, stubby, overbuilt knife, kind of reminiscent of the Spyderco Techno or the Booker Albatross, or thinking of some other ones. Can't think of any off the top of my head. So, typical good Wii quality though. You got nice titanium handles. This one's anodized blue with a carbon fiber inlay and a right-hand carry only tip-up clip. You have an inlay on this side as well. You do have the Wii proprietary hardware. Looks kind of like it's meant to look like it's an integral. It's not, obviously. Well, where are the screws on this guy? So that is pretty neat, actually. So there is no handle screws minus the pivot. You just have the pivot. You don't have the handle screws, and it's all kind of held together right here by this piece. That's a pretty cool design, actually. I kind of like that. So it is a flipper, obviously, on bearings. Nice action. Not as smooth as the Ignition, but it's pretty dang smooth. It's got, a, like I said, a real stubby blade with a kind of a nice swedge up here. Kind of like a, what does it remind me of? It's kind of a reverse Tanto. Not reverse, yeah. Reverse Tanto? Yes. Reminds me of the 940 as far as its blade shape, but as far as how that kind of kicks up right there, so reverse Tanto, but it's got a more pronounced swedge right here, and it's obviously a much thicker blade than the 940. Excuse me. Let's do some shots here of comparisons. The Kaiser Task T1, it's going to be shorter than all of these. 940, the Booze Smoke, so you can see it's a shorter handle knife, and it's also very thick compared to these. These are all pretty slim carries, which is more my style. This knife is definitely not my style. Now, it was included with the pass around with the Ignition, which I really like, and I thought, yeah, I'll check that. Why? It's with it, so might as well check it out. Definitely not a knife that I would buy, but it is high quality. Price range, you're looking about $250, which it's a little steep for the materials. I gotta be honest, S35, I mean, it's great steel and all, but you should probably be more in the 200 range with the titanium frame lock. I mean, it does have carbon fiber inlays, so the quality's definitely there, but there's some other Wii models in this range, or other like ZTs that are less than this that have pretty much the same materials and quite a bit less money. So so the price range, I'm not big, I think it could be less, and then the just big fat stout handle, and a lot of guys like knives like these, and that's why they design them and make them, because there's a market for them. You can see that you can barely get, I mean, I can get 4 fingers on there, but it's it feels actually pretty solid in the hand, because it's a nice chunk of metal. I mean, it's a nice chunk of steel and titanium, and got some really good jimping up here, so it feels good in the hand. Even in the reverse grip, it feels good, but it's definitely chunky. Not my kind of. And then in the pocket, let me show you. It's pretty wide, as we talked about. Show you how the clip works. Not a deep carry by any means, and it takes up that much of your pocket. Well, that much of your pocket versus, I mean, this is a very slim knife, but this is why the Smoke is such a good carry, because it's very slim. It only takes up that much. It's a big difference. Even the Ignition is much slimmer, than the Valiant here. But that's the style. It's short, stubby, overbuilt, tanky folders, and people like them. So that's why we make them, and I'm sure it sells just fine for them. And its quality definitely a high quality knife. No doubting the fit and finish, and even the design for what it is works pretty good. Let's see how thick it is behind the edge. See if it's going to cut any decent. 0.031, so it's not very thin behind the edge either. You got a big, fat blade. We'll see how well it cuts. We're going to do some cut tests here and roll it in here in a second, and then we're going to finish up the video. Alright, so wrapping up on the Valiant. Actually pretty surprised how well it cut. I thought it did pretty well. It did well with the cardboard. Pretty good on the apple. Pretty sliced pretty well actually for being a little thicker behind the edge. But I think it's this big belly and this blade shape that really can help it do that. So for being a fat, stubby, chunky overbelt low folder, it actually cuts pretty well. So kind of surprising. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.